Hey everyone, today is going to be all about buying properties in the US. Whether you are a US citizen, whether you're a Canadian citizen buying as a foreign national, or whether you are from other countries, right, buying in the US as a foreign national as well. So today we're going to be discussing why Mel and I think that it is awesome to buy in the US, especially right now. Um, and yeah, we'll be discussing different type of investment strategies. Grab my phone for my calculator. But yeah, so today, let's make it interactive. If you're here, we're live on multiple different sources. So if you have any questions, do not be shy. Put them in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them, right? From, excuse me, directly correlated with Mel and I's experience. So if you are new to our page, if you're not following us yet, Mel's my wife, okay? So Mel, full-time real estate investors. We now invest in 5 different countries. So Canada, US, like we'll be talking today, Costa Rica, Mexico, and Dominican Republic. We are the proud founders of the Action Family Mentoring Program that has over 2,100 members. And we were both able to quit our jobs in our full-time jobs in our 30s. So yes, definitely let us know in the chat. I'm just trying to see some dates here. I'm trying to find them. I don't see them. Oh, there they are. Okay. So I'm just trying to see some dates for the Fed. But yeah, so the way I see it, Mel and I in the US, and we're Canadian citizens, okay? So if you're hopping in, and maybe you are from Canada or you're another country and you want to invest in the US, it definitely can be done. You're going to be considered a foreign national, right? A foreign national. Mel and I are foreign nationals in 4 out of the 5 countries that we invest in. So it still can be done. A little bit of nuances, right, as a foreign national. However, different ways of investing is what I want to talk about in the US. You can either be an active investor, right? And we'll touch on that, excuse me, where you're doing like BRRRRs, right? Where you buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat. If you wanted to be a flipper, right? Where you're actually hands-on investing. Your boots on the ground. Well, you can be boots on the ground. Mel and I do it virtually from the laptop that we talk to you on here. But you do have people boots on the ground doing it. So if you want to be an active investor who is managing the project or doing the work yourself, 100% we can show you how to do that as well. We'll discuss that today. If you wanted to be a little bit more passive, right? Let's say if you wanted a turnkey investment in the US, we'll talk about that as well. Where let's say, yeah, you still own it. However, it's a done for you type of product, type of asset. So we're going to be talking about that as well in the US. And then one where you're completely passive, where you're, let's say, lending money to a project or an investment. We're looking at some right now that pay somewhere between 15 to 20%. So yeah, there's different ways of investing in the US. Now, put in the chat, are you in the US? Are you in another country? Let me know where you're located, where you're tuning in from. And make sure that you do follow us on other social media platforms. So for example, if you're tuning in from IG or Facebook or Meta, make sure that you follow us on YouTube, right? We're about to hit the 100K mark on YouTube. We release content every single day, and vice versa. If you're on YouTube and you're like, hey, Mel and Dave, I'm not following you on IG or Facebook or Meta, follow us over there as well, because you'll see our stories. You see day to day as to what we do. So yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from, so we can discuss how to purchase real estate in the US, which is the focus of today's live. Now, as of today, the Fed announced a couple of weeks ago, September 18th, I believe, they did reduce Toronto. Hey, Cascade, Toronto. We're going there this weekend. We're going to the Toronto Maple Leafs, right? Toronto Maple Leafs versus Crosby Penguins. So we're going there for the season or the home opener. The first time that what's his name is back in town. It was the GM. Anyway, that'll be fun. So yeah, we'll be there this weekend. We'll be at the game. If anyone's at the game and sees us, definitely don't be shy to come say hi. But yes, the Fed did do an announcement on September 18th. They reduced overnight lending rates by 0.5, which is considered like a mega or jumbo cut. People call it different things. So they did reduce it by then. The next announcement is less than a month now. November 7th, the Fed is also going to announce another, hopefully, interest rate cut, and then also December 18th. Now, I know there was some rumblings. I've been talking to the mortgage brokers and economists. There was some rumblings about was it the inflation? No, there was something with the job data was not accurate, therefore was not. Anyway, there was something with that, with the job data. The numbers were not accurate, so it's affecting the interest rates, specifically the closed versus, or the fixed, excuse me, versus variable. But yeah, November 7th and December 18th will be the next announcement date. So make sure to check that out. So as you have questions, post them in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Oh, Yana SG888 US. Where in the US? Which state? So Mel and I are investing in 3 states as of right now. Okay, we're investing in Ohio, Florida, and Texas. Okay. For those people tuning in from Florida, please, God bless you guys. Hopefully everything is okay with, I think it's Milton coming in. I've been seeing some video of Helene. Hopefully with Milton, everyone stay safe. Mother Nature is, oh my gosh. So anyway, stay safe. But Yana, what state are you tuning in from? And then the other thing too, yeah, so Ohio, US, and Texas is where Mel and I invest in the US. Guy William, will this be recorded to watch later? 100%, Guy. It's going to be live on YouTube. So yeah, definitely you can watch it later. Yana, Texas. Awesome. We're in Texas. We're investing Northwest Texas. Maria, nice to see you. I must have you on my radio show. Hey, Maria, let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Right? I'm the attitude of why not. If it makes sense and it's a win-win, why not? So Mel and I invest in the US. Why? We want to diversify our portfolio. So people will say, Dave, you live in Northern Ontario, Canada. What are you doing investing outside of your province, outside of your country, right? I want to diversify my portfolio. Okay, so we invest in Ontario, we invest in Alberta, we invest in Texas, Florida, Ohio. It's all for diversification. And honestly, Texas, Florida, and Ohio might as well be different countries, right? Because there are nuances and differences. And anyone that lives in the US will tell you that every state has its own, Okay, so you're in Houston. Awesome. Thank you, Yana, for telling me that. It's awesome. Houston's a great market. Is it Houston, or I think Houston is projected to be one of the fastest growing cities by like 2040. I remember reading an article on that. Was it Houston or Dallas? And then DFW is a great place to invest as well. I know, Yana, you know this. You live there. So the US, Mel and I like to diversify there for multiple different reasons. Again, I'm in Canada, right? So the political is very parallel. The democracy is very parallel to Canada. Same with the US. Same with Costa Rica. I invest in Costa Rica as well because it's very parallel to US and Canada, the laws and democracy and regulations. But yeah, the US, we have a treaty. I was going to say treasury. I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. We have a treasury with them. And I'll go through the biggest mistakes the Canadians make. I actually have 2 or 3 videos on that, people investing in the US or even US citizens investing in the US. But Mel and I invest there for a few different reasons, and we actually do it a few different ways, okay? So everyone thinks, and people are not wrong. Everyone is different. Like, everyone's different, right? Everyone has a particular way that they want to invest in real estate, whether they want to be a hands-on, if they're boots on the ground, if you're investing in your backyard and you want to be boots on the ground and you want to do the renovations yourself, you want to place the tenants yourself, you want to manage the asset yourself, right? We can help you do that. Okay. We're actually going, you know what? Team, put the link for tomorrow's webinar. I'm going live, going to be analyzing like 5 deals tomorrow. If you join our webinar, you actually get one of Mel and I's Amazon best-selling books as well. You get that for free. But yeah, if you want to be a doing it yourself investor, we can show you how to do it. If you want to do flips, BRRRR projects, that's exactly what we show you as part of the webinar and as part of the Action Family Mentoring Program. So let us know. Hey, Projay Demeter. Hey, Yana, I lived in Alberta. Where in Alberta did you live? Nice for the information, Mohammed. You're welcome. And the team's just letting me know as we're live on different platforms here. But what was I going to say? That is if you want to be boots on the ground or you want to be an active investor. And I shouldn't say boots on the ground. The properties that I have in Ohio, I've never been to Ohio. I will go one day, right? I've never been. My Akron, Ohio properties, I've never been to. Well, I just told you I've never been to Ohio. So obviously I've never been to Akron, Ohio. But you can do this without going there. However, I'm still an active investor in that state. Same with Texas. I've never been to Texas. I can't wait to go to Texas. Mel and I own property there. Okay, so you can be an active investor owning pieces of real estate, managing them from a distance. Okay, absolutely, you can do this. Obviously, as a U.S. citizen, or if you're like me, a foreign national, right? You can definitely do this. Okay. Oh, Giannis, you were in Calgary and Edmonton. Awesome. We have property in Edmonton, and we've been to Calgary for the Stampede. Love both those cities. That's awesome. There's not a city I don't go to that I don't love. Like every city's different. It has its own, vibe, and it's chill, and you can do different things. And yeah. Anyway, I digress. So that is the active investing portion of who here wants to be or is an active. Give me an I or a one in the chat if you're an active investor in the U.S. Give me an I or a one, or say me, whatever. So self-identify as, am I an active investor in the US? And let me know what state. Okay. I always love seeing where people are investing and why. So I wrote in a couple of things here. Yeah. So that's if you want to be active. If you're saying, hey, Dave, I want to be an active investor. However, I've got XYZ going on, or I don't have time, but I see the value of purchasing real estate, owning real estate, having market appreciation over time, having cash flow, seeing the value in every month when the tenants pay the mortgage down, right? Seeing that mortgage recapture. Meanwhile, the place goes up, seeing that appreciation. If you do see that, however, right, I give a big asterisk here. However, time is just not on your side. And you just don't want to be able to manage that. There's also other options too, right? There's done for you options as well, which Mel and I have done. Like, for example, we closed one was it Jan this year? In Ohio, completely done for you. And it's been one of the most passive pieces of real estate that I've owned, other than the land I own, which land is pretty passive, right? It doesn't give me any cash flow, but it's appreciating over time. Other than the piece of land or the pieces of land that I own, this is which is not fair to compare. It's apples and oranges. The done for you, and team, put the link for the done for you. There's an exclusive Investor Mel and Dave link for this as well to give you guys access to it. What was I going to say? It's been the most passive, piece of real estate next to land that Mel and I have had done for you, right? They find the property, they renovate it for you, they get a tenant in, they manage it. It's literally, again, I'm not saying there's completely zero management. You still have to manage the managers. However, it's been very, very, it's been very nice. Mel and I are definitely going to be doing a lot more of that. Because our kids are busy. Colton's busy with hockey. We're going to tournaments. Like this weekend, we're for Canadian Thanksgiving. We're going to see the Leafs, right? The Leafs versus the Pens. Go Leafs, go. What's the guy's name again? Dubas, right? Is it Dubas? It's his first return to Toronto since being let go. But anyway, let me answer some of the questions. So that done for you, we can definitely help you. The team will put the link for the Investor Mel and Dave exclusive list. That you get access to before anyone else. Hello, Dave. Sweet Escape. Hello, Dave. I want to know everything about investing in the US. I love the eagerness. I want to know everything. Oh my gosh. We're going to be live for like probably an hour. I cannot let you know everything. Like there's so much to learn. Mel and I are still learning, right? We're doing this in 3 different states. There's still always so much to learn, which I love. But yeah, Sweet Escape, definitely keep following us. Go on our YouTube page, guys, too. We have a bunch of US investing stuff. Actually, yeah, never mind. Mohammed, nice for the information. Maria, nice to see you. Oh, yes, I must have in my radio show. Yes. What states in US are you already investing in? So Florida, Texas, Ohio. Okay. I've been to 1 of 3 of those states and we're investing in 3. All right. So, which is pretty cool. Hi, Dave. Hello. I want to be an active investor. I love it. Come on our webinar. It's free. You actually get one of our Amazon best-selling books as well. Realtor, what do you think about Buffalo? Ooh, Sunny Lal. I have not. Buffalo would be easy for me because it's just right over the border for me, which again, doesn't matter. I say that, but Texas is not right over the border for me, and that's been easy too. Same with Ohio. And Florida, well, Ohio's closer, but I have not, to be honest with you, analyzed Buffalo too much. It's in a state that might not be as investor friendly, right? Like I know some people are investing in Detroit. Detroit's kind of in the middle. Detroit spent a lot of money, in their downtown area and that too. But I have not, I just don't want to lie to you, Realtor Sunny Lal. I just don't want to, I have not spent much time analyzing Buffalo, just to be completely honest with you. Proj, the real estate sector in Turkey is currently experiencing a big decline in sales prices don't match the rent prices. What do you think about real estate markets around the world? Ooh, honestly, I can only talk about the 5 countries that the Mel and I are investing in. So Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican. So Turkey is completely out of my wheelhouse. I just don't want to lie to you and make stuff up. I would just be completely making it up. So I don't know. Honestly, I have zero knowledge. I've never looked at Turkey. Yeah, just to be honest with you. Quetzali Torres, working to get started and would like to be an active investor. Okay, join the webinar tomorrow, guys. Again, we're going to be tomorrow's webinar. We talk about creative financing and other people's money. We'll be going over agreement for sales and wrap mortgages. We'll be going over seller financing, like vendor takebacks. Okay, we'll be going over using whether you're in Canada, RRSP, such as registered funds, or in the States, retirement funds, such as 401k, Roth IRAs. We'll also be talking about promissory notes and how to do it right. We analyze 5 deals. Guys, that'll be very, very good for your own knowledge base. How can I manage all the property? I have 3 property in Winnipeg, little difficulty. Nassar, how I can manage? Yeah, honestly, it's property management. So Mel and I outsource all the property management that we have, that we own, to property managers, right? Because again, think about this. We own, we've purchased real estate in 5 countries now. Imagine if we were self-managing and taking care of that. Could we do it? Yes, but it would limit us a lot. So we hire managers to manage the properties for us, okay? Now, not every property manager, is created equally. There's, sometimes you have to kiss some frogs, but it is what it is, right? David, hey, David, mortgage broker. Vidawar, and what about Calgary real estate? Calgary's hot. Calgary is hot. Reminds me, it's kind of like a mini Toronto, mini Vancouver. Doesn't appreciate as quickly as those two, but it's definitely hot. And I'm hoping Edmonton does the same thing. Fatima. Oh, Fatima, you're part of the Action family. Fatima, ask me that in our live. I'll be able to go, let's go really in depth on it. I'll do it in our live, in our Action family exclusive live, okay? Houston, Texas, from Mexico. Hey, Andre, we're in Mexico. We buy in Tulum. We have teams from a lot of our team members are from Mexico, and I swear we'll go back to talking to US here, guys. A lot of our team members are from Mexico, so they're from Aguascalientes, Chihuahua. They're from what's the other place gonna bug me? I can't think of it. No, I can't think of it. But no, that's cool. So where in Mexico are you from? I already signed up to your webinar. Thank you, Dave. Do you do deals through syndication? We do not. We do not. We own all our deals. We don't do any like joint ventures or syndications. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We just choose to solely own our assets. And we talk about why we do that in the webinar as well, okay? Florida, Texas, Ohio, on my radar as well. I don't know, you invested in Costa Rica. Any tips how to invest there? Where do you feel best place to fix and flip? A lot of great questions. I know the right channel. I have a great investment in Baja. Hear your opinion. Would you have an email? I'd love to buy in Mexico. So great questions. Okay. And I love how everyone's talking Costa Rica. I love how everyone's talking Mexico. We're going to have other lives just for Costa Rica, just for Mexico. We're also doing Dominican Republic, Punta Cana area. So we will have other lives for that, but and I love the enthusiasm and questions, guys. But let's. I'm going to gear back to the U.S. market. So I was talking about turnkey properties like Mel and I do. There's also investing, being very, very passive. Okay, and there's actually some opportunities. If you send us an email or DM us the word team, what's the word for the passive opportunities here? Let me see what it's called again. DM us the word passive. Okay, and I'll know exactly what you mean. So there's some passive investments, right? If you have some money and you're like, Dave, I do not want to do the done for you because I still have ownership. I still don't want to be in charge of managing the managers. I don't want to do the active investor thing because then I know it's up to me to do it. Like if none of those seem enticing, appetizing to you because you just want to invest your money and be strictly a private lender, we do have some opportunities for you as well. DM us the word passive, and again, I can't think off the top of my head. I think they're offering like 15 to 20% return on ROI or IRR. I forget which one it is, but there's some attractive. So just DM us the word passive, and the team will hook you up with that. Okay. That's the thing as well. So if you're thinking, I want to invest in the US and I don't know which one, well, think about how much time do you have? If you're truly swamped and you have zero time and you have a bunch of money and you don't know what to do, the passive investment might be the best. Might be, you know what, I forget, my money's locked in for a year or 2 years. I'm guaranteed X amount of return, and I'll talk to you in a year or two when it's time to pay me back my money, right? So that might be one of the best ones for you. If you're saying, okay, I have money, I still don't have much time. However, I absolutely need to own. I need to own the asset. I need to be able to get that market appreciation. I'm not looking so much for just a couple or interest or points on my money. I need to actually own the asset, but I have zero time. Maybe the done for you situation, maybe the done for you scenario is best, right? That might be the best scenario for you. Again, we have the link there. But did the team put the link for that one for our list? Yes, I think it's right here. Let me do that. Whoops, there's the exclusive list, right? What was I going to say? Actually, no, I think that's the seller financing one. I'm looking for the one that's the done for you. Team, if the done for you, I don't know if that's the one. I think it ends in deals, but yeah, or something like that. So that's the one that's passive, and that is passive. And what was I going to say? You still own the asset. The managers manage it. They find the deal, all that stuff, right? Whoops, what am I doing here? Why am I clicking on things? I'm gonna stop clicking. Keep talking. Stop clicking. So that might be one that if you absolutely have no time. Now, if you have some money and you have a little bit of time, or if you're like Dave, I don't have as much money to buy real estate and I need to do creative financing, or, I have some money, but I need to really make it stretch and I want to own deals. That's where we can show you through the Action Family Mentoring Program, right? Mel and I coach people and show people how to do this. That's where we can help you guys build your own portfolio using creative financing and other people's money. Okay. So that's like, there's avenues for everyone. So even if you have a bunch of money and you also want to learn how to do it, you don't have to have little funds to buy real estate either, right? Even if you have a bunch of money and you're like, you know what, I wanted to learn how to buy real estate the right way. And maybe I leverage other people's money too. We can definitely do all of that. Quetzali, wow, the passive investment option is very attractive. Do you have options for an affiliate program for break? Send us a message, Quetzali. DM us. Oh, that tea is awesome. Great questions, guys. I love all the questions. So as you can see, again, depending where you're at in your journey and what you foresee your future looking like, buying in the real estate or buying in the US real estate market, you can definitely do different ways. Now, buying as a US citizen, okay, you're going to have a little bit more benefits than if you're buying as a foreign national. So for example, there are different lending programs, right? The FHA, you might be able to get 3.5% down payment, which is beautiful, right? Imagine getting into a property with only 3.5%. Now, that being said, you're looking at more like a duplex or a fourplex or four and unit and under. And again, there's stipulations here. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm definitely not going to pretend to be the pro on that. But you can also have it where, let's say, if you're going for that 3.5 and FHA loan, you can also have it where the income from the other units will actually help you qualify for the debt, right? So US has some very attractive financing for US citizens. Now, for foreign nationals like myself, there's still some very attractive stuff, right? Some hard money lenders. It's going to be a little different as a foreign national, right? So for example, you have US citizen here and you have foreign national here. A US citizen might be able to get will most likely be able to get a higher loan to value, lower interest rates, right? As a foreign national. So for example, which one do I want to use? Which example do I want to use? Let's just talk about one of my Florida properties right now. There's an Orlando one right now that I got going on. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Don't mean to cough in your ears there. As a foreign national, they are offering me 65% loan to value maximum. Okay, 65. And my interest rates are a little bit higher than what a US citizen would get. So as a foreign national, yes, you can still buy properties in the US, just like Mel and I do. However, lower loan to value, lower LTV, and higher interest rates typically. Okay, because you don't have US credit, you don't have an SSN, right? Social security number. So they might be able to do asset-based lending and equity-based lending for you because you don't have that credit to vouch for, but they will give you lower of a loan for higher interest rates. It's typical. When I went for financing in Costa Rica, same thing. I'm not a Costa Rican, I'm not a TICO, so they didn't give me the same financing rates and loan to values. Same with Mexico. You have to be Mexico. Like, again, every country has its own stipulations. So definitely can do it. It just will be a little different. Where in Costa Rica did you invest? Cocoa Beach, Potrero. I always forget the other one. Cocoa Beach, Potrero, Acatal, and Huancalao. all around the north and south of Tamarindo. Any questions on US purchasing? And again, there's three different ways, in my opinion, right? There's the completely passive, where you're a private lender, you invest your money and you make returns, but you don't have any ownership unless you're doing a syndication. That one's not my cup of tea, just to be honest with you. You have the done for you, which we have here. Let me put the link for the done for you. You have the done for you, which again, Mel and I've purchased. I'm going to be purchasing more of these. It's super, super passive. Again, nothing is ever 100%. You never have to deal with anything, but it's very, very passive. The ones that we've purchased have been very easy to manage and have been very, very low. What's the word I'm looking for? Touch points. I haven't touched it too many times. You know what I mean? And then there's the active investor, where we can show you how to do that instead of our coaching and mentoring. And again, we have different programs and offers. So if you want to get started with that, either DM us the word action because you want to take action, you want to join some sort of action family that we have, or join our webinar tomorrow. Again, webinar completely free. Mel and I will talk about 3 or 4 different ways of passive investing. We're going to analyze about 5 deals, and you get one of our Amazon best-selling ebooks. Okay. Quetzali, so many questions since starting, but I think tomorrow's webinar will be very helpful. Looking forward to it. It will, guys. And there's some things too, like I still remember the saying, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the beauty of it. So like Quetzali, I'll take you as an example. You're saying I'm going to learn so much tomorrow. There are things tomorrow that we're going to be touching on and that we're going to be discussing that you'll be like, I didn't even know that I didn't know that, right? There's what's the word I'm looking for? There are concepts, there's the word. There are concepts and other terms and just things in real estate that some of you might not even know that you don't even know them yet. They're just not even in your realm of possibilities or understand. And I'm not saying that in a mean way, but that's the beauty of learning is, oh, it's starting to rain outside. Sorry, caught me off guard. It was a beautiful day and now it's raining. You know what? Considering what's going on in the U.S. and in Florida and Milton, I consider myself lucky here. I'll take this rain and God bless everyone who's got everything going on down there, and hopefully everyone is safe. Sorry, you know what? I should not complain about the little bit of rain I'm getting. So, yeah, the webinar, we're going to be touching on all that different stuff. So many questions. Yes, I love it. What is higher? 8%. Lizzie, I haven't gotten my offer yet for the Orlando one. We're still the lender. I would switch lenders at the last second here. So we're just kind of going through the documents. I haven't gotten my offer yet, but actually they had given me a proposal. It was at the 9%, probably 4 to 6 months ago. No, they'd given us a proposal. So it might be 8, it might be lower, but yeah, it's higher interest rates for foreign nationals. Do you make cash flow from it? Yes, absolutely. So my turnkey property that we purchased in Ohio earlier this year, made cash flow, easy, right? Tenants just renewed the lease. Beautiful. Like it's, yeah. Completely passive. How much return could we expect on capital? Some of it, like again, some of them in the US are offering like somewhere between 15 and 20%. ROI, I forget, IRR, I have to look at it again. But there's those. Honestly, just send us a DM with the word passive. We'll introduce you. It's people that they have projects in Canada, they have projects in the US. These are deals that we're investing in as well. So anyway, just send us a DM with the word passive, and then the team will know. Passive investment introduction. I'll get you hooked up. Cascade, what's the first step on building your REI in the US, your real estate investment portfolio? So, okay, let me backtrack. If you're in the US, right, there's a lot of videos showing you, LLCs and do this, don't do that, Wyoming, Delaware, Nevada, and everyone's got their say. Should I do a trust? Should I do an LLC? Like, there's a lot of different, yay, nay, pros, cons, do this, don't do that, do this. Like, I agree with you. And it depends state by state, because I'll meet with my attorneys in the US and they'll say, for this state, do this, because you do a trust because you don't know the implications that you'll have down the road, or do an LLC because of this. All that is great. Okay, Cascade, and I will get to your question here. However, if you are a foreign national, so for example, if you're a Canadian, or if you're in Mexico, or if you're wherever and you want to invest in the US, there are different stipulations, right? There's different, here, someone keeps asking for the link for the tomorrow. There you go. There's our webinar tomorrow, guys. Or DM us the word webinar or live, and we'll send you the link to the webinar and the live. It's going to be team, is it noon? Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's noon, don't say anything, but I think it's noon Eastern time tomorrow. I think it's going to be me. Mel and I usually do them together. Yeah, what time is, it's noon tomorrow, Eastern. Oops, what was the question I got of? Where did it go? Oh, yes. How do you set up? So again, if you are a foreign national buying in the US, there's so many different things to do. And that's why we use our cross-border accountants, lawyers, attorneys. So let me just talk as a Canadian. When I'm buying in the US, it's different. A Canadian buying in the US is much different than a US citizen buying in the US, okay? The tax compliance is different. I want to make sure to not have double taxation. Beautiful thing, like a US citizen can do 1031 exchange. Beautiful way of, kicking the can down the road in regards to paying capital gains. I 100% agree with you. However, as a Canadian or as a foreign national, yes, on the US side of things, you can still do that 1031 exchange, but then again, your government back home where you live might not recognize it, might still tax you on it. So there's a lot of different things that I'm just using as a Canadian because I'm a Canadian buying in the US. Canadians buying in the US, again, you should be trained and coached, in my opinion, by other Canadians buying in the US. And if that's something that is of interest of you, that's exactly what Mel and I show you, is how are we buying in the US as Canadian citizens? Okay, how are we making sure that those nuances, the I's, the T's, all that stuff, dot the I's, cross the T's. So there definitely are some different ones. Yes, I'm Canadian. Yes, Cascade, you're from Toronto. And if you're in the US, again, we'll be able to show you too, because we have all the contacts that can either say, the contacts we have are dual. So when I introduce you to the contacts we have, they're going to say, where do you live? And if you say, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, I'm in Buffalo, New York, I'm in Detroit, Michigan, I'm in Orlando, Florida, they go, okay, you're a US citizen. They have their US citizen playbook that they're going to do, and where are you investing? If you say, hey, yeah, Dave introduced you, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, I'm from I don't know, Kelowna, BC, I'm from Calgary, Alberta, I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, they're going to, okay, so now you're a foreign national. So that's the thing. They can help you whether it's either side of the I almost said equator. Oh gosh, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Other side of the border. Oh my gosh, Dave, what's in this tea? Okay, I'm part of other groups. So I do know OPM and lending, but would love to get the steps in doing it right, learning how to analyze deals properly, pulling the trigger. Out-of-state deals seems daunting. Yeah, Quetzali, join the webinar. We'll be able to help you out. And again, you get our free book. I'm friends with a lot of the coaches in the US and in Canada as well. Yes, I'm Canadian, Dave. Awesome. And that's the thing, guys. There's different ways of teaching it and showing you how to do it. I just show people how Mel and I do it. That's as simple as that, right? It's how we've done it, how we do it, and how we continue to do it. And as Mel and I grow our portfolio, and this is something I was talking with our action family last week, as an investor, there's no right or wrong way of investing in real estate. What I mean by this, okay, let me hear me out. If you want to be an active investor, managing the projects, whether it's in your backyard, somewhere in another province, another state, whatever it is, you can do that, right? There's nothing wrong with it. If you want to be a turnkey investor, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be an investor, right, lending out your money, there's nothing wrong with any of those. There are nuances on how to do it, right? But the beauty is you can invest in real estate so many ways. Cascade, can our RSP, if I leverage that money in the US? So yes, we can show you. So think about this. If you are a Canadian, and I'll talk about US after, okay? If you are a Canadian citizen and you have RSP, TFSA, LIRA, you can use your own money to buy a property in the US. Yes, you heard me right. You can use your own registered funds. I just got to think retirement in the US, registered in Canada. You can use your own registered funds to purchase property in the US. So let's say you're like, you know what? It gets cold in Calgary or Edmonton. It's cold in North Bay. It gets cold where I'm just making it up here. And you want to use your own RRSP, TFSA, LIRA. You can do so. You can purchase a property in Florida or Arizona or Texas or wherever your heart desires. You can use your own money to do so. Again, there are nuances on how to do it. It's all above board, but there are ways to do it. Now, if you're a US citizen and you have a Roth IRA or 401k, and I'm going to go outside the US right now, and you want to use your own of those funds. Let's say you want to buy in Costa Rica. I know today's supposed to be about the US, but I'm talking about US citizens. If you want to use your own Roth IRA, 401k to purchase an asset outside of the US. So for example, Costa Rica, you want to go to Tamarindo, right? You want to swim where the volcano sand is black? You can do that too. We can show you how to do that. Okay. Quetzali, see you tomorrow. Boom. See you tomorrow on the tomorrow's live, the webinar. It's going to be right here. Actually, you might be here from our studio. I'm just at our dining room table here. You're getting me in the house, not at the studio today. I'm keeping it low key. ND4X, can a seller back out after signing contract to sell a house in Ontario? If you go, and this is anywhere, guys, I shouldn't say anywhere. Different provinces, different states have different things, but when you sign a contract and you go firm, can you back out? Yes, but there's going to be ramifications on any contract. Once you go firm on a contract, right? And I'm not a lawyer. Okay, let me backtrack. I am not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an accountant. I have 0 letters after my name. So do not take this as accounting advice, legal advice, any advice. I'm just talking about my experiences. Okay, ND4X and everyone. But yeah, what the lawyers have told me and the attorneys and all that is, yeah, once you sign a contract, can you back out? Yes, but there will be ramifications, right? So for example, if you sign a contract and don't close the deal, let's say you're buying and you do a contract, and you don't back out, can they sue you? Can there be litigation? Yes. But if you're having issues, I would definitely contact, not me, a legal rep, like a lawyer, an attorney, a notary, someone who is a legal representative, okay? Cascade, if I buy 1 or 2 properties in the US, do you recommend creating a living trust or corporation as of now? So if you are not a US citizen, as far as I know, you cannot do a living trust unless you have different, visas and citizenship and XYZ. And then corporation, that's the thing too, Cascade, that's a whole bag of worms. As a Canadian citizen investing in the US, depending on where you're investing, and this is why I like our professionals. Cascade, join our, and I think you already said you're going to be at the webinar. That's the thing, Cascade, is, how do I say this? There's no one size cookie fitter, right? When I see these videos on YouTube or I see these posts, Cascade, you and I could go to the same US attorney, right, to set us up and the CPA, and we could also go to the same cross-border Canadian accountant, and our entities might look differently. Our setup might look differently because they might look at you and see what you've got going on and what you want to do. Are you bringing the money back home? Are you leaving the money there? And then, hey, Dave, what do you have going on? Are you, what's the word? Oh gosh, I butcher this. Repatriatizing, bringing the money back home. Let's keep it simple. Am I bringing the money back home? Am I leaving it there? So honestly, there's no one size cookie cutter fits all. But they're definitely, all I care about, Cascade, is making sure that when the two governments are looking at each other, right? IRS on the US side and CRA on the Canadian side, if they can't talk, meaning if they don't understand the entity structures, then the treaty that we have with the US is a moot point, and you'll have double taxation. Join the webinar. We'll talk about that too as well. Cascade, do what you want. You don't have to join the webinar. I shouldn't say that. If you want to join the webinar, right? I'm not here to tell people how to live their lives. But yeah, we will be chatting about that. That's exactly what we help people with. Like Mel and I have, and we'll talk about that tomorrow as well. So Mel and I, that's what we do. So we have our real estate portfolio, right? We've purchased in 5 countries: Canada, US, Costa Rica, Mexico, Dominican Republic. Okay. Then we have our Action Family Mentoring Program, where we literally show people how to do the exact same thing we do. And guys, hopefully you're seeing by having a conversation with me today, or if you're watching this live afterwards, like, I'm pretty sure by now you can tell that I'm not a rocket scientist, right? Like, honestly, like, I was a firefighter, not a rocket scientist here. Mel and I are simple people. We've gone through a lot, good, bad, and the ugly. We've had amazing experiences. We've had terrible experiences. We made amazing success, and we've had terrible mistakes. And literally, that's what we show people. Do this and this and this. Don't do this and this and this, right? So it's just from experience. Mel and I still have 4 coaches ourselves, okay? So we learn from other people, we learn from our mistakes, and we just show people how to do exactly what we do. So if that's something that interests you, then yeah, attend or DM us, and we can chat further. Dino from India. Awesome, Dino. Godfather, we have a lot of people from India, a lot of Indians in the Action family. I love it. We have people from all over the world, like India, Philippines, Venezuela, Colombia, Jamaica, Nigeria, Turks and Caicos, where else? Panama, Bahamas, Mexico. Like, we have people from all over the world in the Action. That's what I love. Like, diversity, like, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it. So hello from India. Godfather, what's the safest state to favors landlords according to you? I have properties in Wyoming and Delaware, but other than that, I'm exploring some options. In my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, Godfather, I'm investing in Texas and Florida and Ohio. So I like Texas and Florida, in my opinion, very investor friendly, right? Florida, 0 state tax, very landlord friendly, both of those states. Ohio is kind of a little bit in the middle, a little bit more investor focused than but so that's where I invest, and that's why. Hopefully that makes sense. Where'd it go here? You're welcome, guys. I know there's some questions coming in. If I did miss your question again, it is not on purpose. I never want to miss anyone's question, but again, if you're interested in any of this, again, join our webinar. You do get our free ebook, Amazon best-selling ebook. I always forget to say that. Our Amazon, it's not just any book, right? This is the first book that Mel and I ever wrote that was after a huge car crash. You will get our Amazon best-selling book when you do register for the webinar. I will be live tomorrow at noon Eastern time. If you can make it, beauty. If you can't make it, it doesn't matter. We'll send you the replay and you can watch it at your leisure, okay? ND4X, I am in the middle of buying my first property. My offer was accepted. Looking forward to talk to you. That's awesome. Where's the offer? Where's the property? Is it in the US? Which state is it in? You don't have to tell me that you don't want to either. So again, I know we touched on it earlier. Actually, the Fed is going to be announcing, I think it was November 7th and then December 18th. I might be off on those dates. I'm just going from memory. So very exciting times for US. Hopefully they do another, jumbo mega cut like they did September 18th by 0.5. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they do that again. And what I've been talking about today are the 3 major types of investing in the US, okay? So if you want to be completely passive, I see people DMing us the word passive, like Zion on YouTube. The team will get you, excuse me, the information to do that, And then also, if you're looking to do it done for you, that is, where is the done for you link? I'm going to put it right here. Whoops. Show, this is the one, right? Done for you. They find, you tell them your budget, you tell them the state, or they'll tell you what state. This is the beauty. It's a free call. They reverse engineer everything with you. What are your goals? What do you want? When do you want the money? When do you all of that stuff? Okay. They'll talk to you, is landlord friendly important? Is appreciation important? They'll narrow down the state for you. Then they'll talk about different cities, different counties, all of that. They'll find the property for you. They'll renovate it. They'll tenant it for you, and then they'll have property management in place. Check it out. Okay, it's super, super cool. And yeah, and if you're watching this after and you can't find the link, just message us, guys. Message the team. The team is awesome. They're all over it. They'll get it to you. And then if you want to learn how to do like Mel and I do as well, how to buy properties, renovate them from a distance, get them rented, refinanced, and build a big portfolio to create generational wealth, then come on the webinar. And again, even if you cannot make it tomorrow, sign up. Actually, the other cool thing too is you will also get you'll be on our email. You'll get our email. So you'll get different offers, different trainings, all sorts of different stuff. Like today we sent out, today's Wednesday. Yeah. Today we sent out a free training on how we did 12 properties in 12 months, right? Pretty cool, right? So if you register for the webinar and you go on our email list, you get a bunch of free offers, a bunch of free trainings, a bunch of cool stuff. It's just Mel and I try and add as much value as possible. Okay. Cause I remember when we started, and when I met Mel, she was a single mom with 2 young daughters, 4 and 7. We just drove by the place this morning. My 750 square foot house. I was a firefighter. I couldn't even pay my hydro bills. Like Mel and I have been there, right? We've done that. We both had 3 jobs. Like that's not fun. I don't regret that part of my life because it made me who I am. But if you're in it right now, it sucks. Like I don't want to use any other words, and let's not coddle it. But guys, it sucks, right? When you're in the thick of it. And I can still remember being in, and Mel and I still think of that sometimes. Like when I'm thinking of properties and all that, like it's so much easier than what we were doing before, right? Working 3 jobs and all that. So if you're in that and you want to get out of it, I've been there. We've got the solution for, as long as you're willing to put the work in. Like if you're thinking it's going to be, hey Dave, I'm going to be a millionaire overnight, then, and I don't think you're picking up that vibe for me. Hopefully you're not, because that's not the vibe that I'm putting off. But yeah, we can definitely help you. Sign up for the webinar and let's check it out. ND Brock. Okay. I would want to see it in our cash flow analysis matrix, ND4X. I would want to underwrite the deal, stress test it just like the financial institutions. I want to see what the ratios are, what the cash flow is of the deal. And then more importantly, on our cash flow analysis matrix, we've had this tool trademark now. I want to see what is the exit strategy. That's what I want to see for this deal in Brockville. Cascade, Dave, is there REI turnkey deals in Canada? There are some. Send us a DM saying Canada. Yeah, just say Canada deals and the team will know what to do. There's some as well. Cascade. Pablo. Hi, Dave. Okay. What does it say here? Oh, man, that tea is awesome. Mel made it for me. I don't know what you put in it, but it is delicious. Sorry, talking out loud. Pablo, or thinking out loud. Hi, Dave. Buy a house with other people's money. I like where this is going. OPM, baby. Will only work if I have the money to fix the property. Let's keep going. But I disagree. Let's keep going though. Will only work if I have the money to fix the property, to sell it and pay the owner and keep the profit. Oh, okay. You know what? You didn't say if I have the money. Doesn't mean it has to be your money though, Pablo. And that's the beauty of it, is you can raise funds. Like when we raise funds, oh my God, dude. When we raise funds, it can be for different things. It's been for down payments, right? Down payments on a deal. There's a lot of different ways you can, a lot of different avenues you can do to raise down payments on a deal. If I'm looking for, down payment, deposit, or EDM or EMD, earnest money deposit, EMD, sorry. If you're looking for renovations, if you're looking for closing costs, like a lot of different ways that you can fund those. Again, it doesn't have to be your money, but you should have the money to do so. Again, you can use OPM and leverage other people's money. Okay. Can you please explain how that works? I really appreciate your input, full of knowledge. Pablo, I want you to join the webinar. Okay. And even if you can't make it, what was I going to say? Because tomorrow you're going to see how we lift, right? We lift assets and appreciation through reducing the expenses, increasing the income, which is the net operating income. How do we increase the NOI? So we'll show you some of the renovations we do and the prices behind it. we fully break down a flip that we did in Costa Rica that we made 104K USD on, okay, in less than a year. Done from the laptop I'm talking to you on, right? At that point, had I been to Costa Rica then? I had not been to Costa Rica when I bought that no. I'd never been to that property anyway, it doesn't matter. You can do it from a distance to what I'm getting at, Pablo. Does that make sense, Pablo? Again, even if you just get the replay, it's going to help you in your own knowledge and learning. Seriously, okay? It will help you. And you get our free Amazon bestseller book. Pablo, does that make sense? Because I could talk about it for hours and hours, but I think like if you're like me and you want a visual, the webinar, we break it down on slides. You get the replay. So even if I'm talking too fast on the webinar, okay, pause, look at the numbers. What was Dave saying? Like, I think that's a great, let me know, Pablo, if that makes sense. Sweet Escape, deals in Canada. Oh, yes, send us a DM. Okay, perfect. The team will take care of you there. Cascade, what are the financial institutions in US or Canada when you do VTBs? So yeah, it's going to be different things, right? Sometimes we'll use credit unions. Sometimes it's like C lenders or private lenders. So it just depends on the province, the area, or it depends on the state and the city. Hard money lenders are beautiful with that too. And like, again, creative, private lenders are beautiful too in different situations. Pablo, yes, it makes sense to me, Dave. I will definitely join the webinar. Thanks a lot. Awesome, guys. You know what? I could talk about buying in the US all day, which I won't be here today, just to be honest with you. I could talk about it all day. So guys, again, wherever you're tuning in, if it's on YouTube, again, we have a bunch of videos on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, it's always at Investor Mel Dave. Here, let me put it. At Investor Mel Dave. It's always at Investor Mel Dave. Okay. Always the same handle. Thank you, team, for putting it there as well. So again, if you're following us on YouTube, beauty. We have over 1,000 videos. Check them out. But then we also do a lot of posts and stories on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok that you wouldn't see on YouTube. And then vice versa. If you're tuning in on IG or Meta or Facebook or TikTok, whatever it is, you see my stories, you see Mel and I's day to day, but you're missing out on some of our longer form videos, like me in front of the whiteboard, Mel and I interviewing people in our Real Deals or our Woman of Action. Well, I say our Woman of Action. I'm pretty sure I'm not doing the Woman of Action show. Mel is, but you know what I mean? You're missing out. So again, guys, cross-pollination. This is why I love going live on multiple platforms, multiple social media platforms, because if you found us and you're like, hey, I kind of like what this bald guy's talking about, or hey, you know what, this resonates with me, beauty, right? And if I don't resonate, I can't resonate with everyone at all times. I can't be everything to everyone. But if I do resonate with you and you like what I'm talking about and you're like, hey, you and Mel seem cool and I like your content and I want to do what you guys do, which is totally doable. Nothing special about us, right? I should say that. There's a lot of things special about Mel. I love her. Nothing special about this guy here, but follow us on different platforms because you're going to get different content and you're going to learn different things. Okay. So for everyone, please, I want to see you on the webinar tomorrow. You get our free Amazon best-selling book. For those of you that are watching this on social media after, okay, don't feel bad because you missed it live. Doesn't matter. The content, the knowledge, the same is all here. Just message us, the team, on any platform, and we'll reach out to you. We have a bunch of free training too, guys, so don't be shy. But yeah, thank you so much for all that joined me. Oh my gosh, I've been talking for 54 minutes. See how I said I could talk about US real estate all day. Like that 54 minutes, I thought we were like 20 minutes deep here, but we are definitely not. We're 54 minutes deep. That flew. Time flies when you're having fun, right? Real estate, US markets, other people's money, creative financing. But yeah, okay, guys, enjoy your day. Bye for now. Thank you so much for spending time with me today.